Chaitanya Bhagavat. And the continuing pastimes of Nityananda in Panihati Gram, West Bengal. And now he's in Balyabhav, in the mood of a coward boy, a Braj, 10-year-old boy. And he's moving here and there. And he influenced some children. They were chanting Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Jai Nityananda, Jai Nityananda. And consequently, they gave up all eating for 1 month. Hailena Vivala Sakala Bhakta Vrinda Sabara Rakshaka Hailena Nityananda. The devotees became overwhelmed with ecstatic love, and Nityananda became the children's sole protector. Sab-Rakshak Bhakta Vrinda. So they were these children in Panihati Gram. They had met Lord Nityananda and became so influenced by his association in his own Balyabhav that he induced them to chant the holy name and become pure devotee followers of his, so much so that they forgot eating. So these children, this mad avadut, imagine, he's wandering around Panihati Gram with a whole band of children, and they're all chanting, Jai Nityananda, Jai Nityananda. So the common people, the Gnostics and Parshandis, they may think that this avadut is an egotist. He's collected a band of children to follow behind him and say, Jai Nityananda, Jai Nityananda. Swami Ki Jai, Swami Ki Jai. Imagine going somewhere and 10 people walking behind you. Swami Ki Jai. Who's the Swami? Oh, he's the Swami. Oh, he has his own cheerleader. His own cheerleaders coming with him. So, then, how far would he go? Since he's becoming their protector and maintainer and everything, as he always is, as Super Soul, Nityananda Balaram, Sankarshan. Putra Prayakari Prabhu Sabaye Jariya Harayena Vojana Pane Hastadiya. Nitai fed the children with his own hand, as if they were his own. Kareyova Bondiya Rakena Nicha Pashe Marina Bandena Tabu Atta Hase. Nitai would sometimes tie up one of the children and keep him nearby. Sometimes he would beat them and tie them up. Even despite all this, the children would laugh loudly. Nityananda indiscriminately distributed his affection to the children. He would sometimes feed them, sometimes tie them up to stop their mischief. Everyone was satisfied with Nityananda's behavior. The children accepted him as Baladev, and they thought of themselves as Gopas of Braj, like Sridham, etc. Hegdina Garadhara Dasa Mandire Ailena Tane Priti Kari Bharatare. So now he's don't know exactly where this house is located. Maybe it's in Panihati Gram. But this is one of the 6 devotees that's traveling with him on his preaching mission. He's been sent by Gauranga from Puri to go to Bengal and preach, and he's taken with him 6 devotees who are none other than the Nitya Parishad, Dwadasa Gopals, some of them. And Gadadhar Das is there, and Raghunath Vaidya, and Krishna Das Pandit and others. So it says now that the venue is shifted. Apparently he's not in Panihatigram, or at least he's not in the house of Raghava Pandit. Now he's going house to house. So it says that one day Nityananda went to the house of Gadadhar Das to bestow mercy on him. So apparently we can gather from this logic of this presentation is Gadadhar Das traveled from Puri with Nityananda, and they all arrived together in Panihatigram and engaged in kirtan and so many leelas, wonderful chamatkar leelas of Nitai. And at some point, Gadadhar Das, who actually lived nearby or somewhere, he left the party and went home. Maybe he lived nearby. And then Nityananda went to his house. He was traveling with him. Now he went to his house to bestow mercy on him and all his family members. Gopi Bhave Gadadhara Dasa Mahashai Haya Chenati Paranandamai. Gadadhar Das Mahashai was absorbed in the ecstatic love in the mood of a gopi. So he was in Gopi Bhav because he's the Kanti of Radharani, Bhav and Kanti. The Bhav is Gadadhar Pandit, and the Kanti, or the effulgence of that Shringar Ras. Shringar Ras of Radharani, that effulgence becomes the form of Gadadhar Das Pandit Brahman, and he's obviously in Gopi Bhav. Mastake Kariya Ganga Jalara Kalas Niravadi Dake Ki Kanive Goras. Gadadhar Das held a pot of Ganga jal on his head, and he continually called out, Dake, Ke Kanive Goras. Interesting way to describe milk. In Hindi they say doodh. But in Ayurveda it says that milk is amrit. That the cow's milk is amrit, is life-giving, life-preserving, and life-enervating. And it's a ras, go ras. So the Bengali, which is close to the Sanskrit, doodh, as they say in Hindi, doodh, is go ras. And when you drink that milk, you go. It gives you a lot of go power, cow power, and moving power also. So he's in Gopi Bhav, so gopis, they collect the milk from the cow, the goras, and then they sell it. Shri Bala Gopal Murti Tana Devalai Hachina Paramalavandyara Samuchai. In the house of Gadadhar Das, as is the standard with all devotees of the Lord, there was a beautiful enchanting deity of Bala Gopal, the Devalaya. Alaya means a house, like we say Bhojanlaya. It's a house of enjoyment. Bhojanlaya means a house of food, eating. Then there's Shastralaya. Shastralaya means a place where they teach. They say Vidyalaya. Vidyalaya is a house of teaching. Shastralaya is a go down for books and so many. It's like a library. Library could be called a library. Could be called Shastralaya. A place of, an abode of, house of. Like we say Himalaya. Himalaya. Him means snow, and Alaya means the abode of, or the place of. So his Devalaya, Alaya means the place of, the house of, the abode of the Deva, Kamadev Sri Krishna, the Supreme Lord, Deva Deva Jagatpate. That's the way of saying the mandir. But previously he said the mandir. He said that he went to the Gadadhar Das Mandire, Karibharatare. He went there. Priti Karibharatare. It's interesting. The translation, English is flat as usual, but even flatter than the actual Bengali. Because the translation we read was that Nityananda went to the house of Gadadhar Das for a purpose. Everyone does whatever they do with some purpose in mind. We're not purposeless entities. There's a purpose to everything. There's thought, there's consciousness, there's awareness, there's idea and ichcha behind every movement, behind every action. So he went there to the mandir. It's translated, one day he went to the house Gadadhar Das to bestow mercy. And the actual says Gadadhar Das Mandire. He went to the temple of Gadadhar Das, Priti Kari Bharatare, to give him priti, love, to give love to him. Because if someone is poor, and a rich man comes and gives him money, then that poor man might say, oh, he was very merciful to me. He gave me money. Receiving of money may be a stroke of mercy. Well, I was really hungry. I had no food, and then I went to this house and they gave me so many grains and so much food, and they were so merciful to me. So mercy is one thing, but giving love is another thing. You can give mercy, you can give money to people, you can give food to people, clothing, but give your love? That's a little something near and dear and most valuable, to give love to someone. So he went there to give what's most valuable and necessary in life is the love of God. Or let's say he went there to relish love of God, because the temple that he went to, Gadadhar Das, he was in Gopi Bhav. He didn't require so much to receive love of God as a gift, but Nittai went there to relish the Priti Lakshana, the characteristics of love that are being displayed in the heart of Gadadhar Das. And true to his form, he was right into it. He had the bhav and the actions that go with it. So we may have Gopi Bhav, but we don't do Saki Beka. Saki Beka. Saki Beka means bake means dress. We may be in Gopi Bhav or Saki Bhav, but we don't dress as a Saki and go around with nose ring and sari and choli, lengra, whatever you call it. Chunari. What's it? What's the veil called? Chunari? Chunari and lehenga? Lehenga and chunari and kanchuli. We'd rather wear kurtas and dhotis and be in Gopi Bhav internally. But he was right into it. He had the bhav, and of course he was not dressed. He was in the mood, the bhav, and in that mood he was carrying some Ganga water on his head, and he was thinking, I'm a gopi, and that's his bhav. So now we heard about the mandir, but we don't know, we heard about the pujari. He's in Gopi Bhav. There's a mandir somewhere, maybe in Panihati, and Nittai has gone there to visit his devotee and relish love with him, share his love, and taste the love of his devotees. And there's deity there, there's pujaris there. He's quite a qualified pujari, Gadadhar Das. He's in Gopi Bhav. So then he's doing Bhav Seva. He's not exactly following Archan Marg. Archan Marg, or the Vidhi Marg of Shastra Nisheda. He's in Gopi Bhav and he's going Bhav Seva enriched with Bhav. What Bhav? The mood of a gopi. So much so that when he went to the Ganga to collect the clay pot, a kalas, the clay pot of water, Ganga Jal. Gange, Gange, Gange. When he collected that Ganga Jal, why did he collect Ganga Jal? To bathe the Lord, to bathe his Shalagram, and to bathe his Balagopal. Shri Balagopal Murti. And on the way back he's thinking, Gopal is the protector of the gopis and protector of the senses of the gopis. He's the Palana, the maintainer, the protector of the gopis. I'm a gopi, I'm in Gopi Bhav. Hey, anyone want to buy my milk? Now Nityananda has entered the temple of Balagopal and he's gazed upon that enchanting Murti, and what happened? Deki Balagopalera Murti Manohar Priti Nityananda Laila Vakshera Upar. When Nittai saw that Manohar Murti, mind-stealing, heart-stealing, a Manohar Murti, Murli Manohar, this Sri Balagopal Manohar Murti, then his mind was stolen. And usually a man's mind, or anyone's mind, can only be stolen by the beloved. The beloved enchants the lover, and likewise. and they can steal one another's minds, but no one else has the power to steal the mind. Someone may occupy the body or take some time with the body, a mother, a father, a friend, a servant. A mother is never generally described as someone who enchants and steals the mind, nor as a friend. But a lover can enchant and steal the mind of the beloved. And we heard that he went there, Priti, Kari Bharatare. Now we're finding out this word Priti was surfaced from the ocean of the heart of Nityananda. Now it's floating on the ocean like a dry straw. And then it's submerged for a few verses. Now it's come up again like a straw. Like you're looking at the water and you see something goes down to the bottom and then it comes up again. So this Priti was there in verse 371, and then again it appears in verse 375. And there's 4 intervening verses which elaborate on the scene and the characters there in the scene and the drama, Leela drama of Nitai. It's a temple of Gadadhar. The Pujari is Gadadhar. He's in Gopi Bhav. He's doing Thakurji Seva. He's collecting Ganga Jal. This is one of the Padasevanams in the Seva of the Lord. Padasevana means collecting the paraphernalia, the upacharas for the puja and worship of the Lord, which includes collecting Jamuna Jal and Ganga Jal. There was one lady when Prabhupada lived at Dhira Damodara in 1962. Her name was Sarojini. She was about 90 years old. A Bengali widow who lived in a neighborhood in some broken crevice in some old Bharatpur palace. And she would go every morning at 4 o'clock, every day of the year, and bathe in Jamuna with her white sari and her white clothes, because she was a widow. And she would collect a brass pot. And first she would take the brass pot and she would clean it with mud from the Jamuna and make it nice and shiny, brilliantly shiny and clean, inside and out. Then she would take a bath in Yamuna, and then she would fill it with Yamuna and put a cloth over the top of it so no birds could poop in it or anything like that. She would tie a little cloth around the mouth of the pot. Then she would walk with that pot through the dark lanes of Vrindavan, this narrow little gullies of Vrindavan, leading from the Yamuna to Damodar Mandir and Sevakunj. She would make her way through those gullies and come to the Mandir, when lo and behold, the front door of the temple would be bolted shut and locked. Because it's 4 a.m. and it's winter time, and the Pujari doesn't get up till 5 or whatever. So then she would hit on the door, Damodar! Damodar! Snan korbe, Snan korbe. Then Prabhupada would be in his room, in his Bhajan Kuti, chanting japa. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Then he would hear this lady, Damodar. Then he would go and unbolt the door and open the door. And she would come in with this brass pot of water and leave it in front of the altar and pay obeisances, then go back to her kuti and change. Pujari would wake up later, come out and collect the Jamuna Jal and use it to bathe on Damodar. And she was there all the time, in 62, and maybe she was 80 or so. In 1970, when Prabhupada came back to visit the temple, Damodar, and stay there, or 71, I think, maybe 70, 71. And some devotees came with him, and they saw this lady early in the morning, because the devotees were also there. And they said, "Who is that lady?" And Prabhupada told the story, who this lady is or was, whatever. And then he said, just for this service alone, this lady's going back to Godhead. Just because she's doing this Padasevanam, assisting the Shringara of the Pujari at Damodar Mandir and Sevakunj, Jiva Goswami's Prananath, that she'll go back to Godhead. So Gadadhar Das is observing this limb of Padasevanam, collecting Ganga Jal in a similar way to bathe his Lord, Sri Balagopal, and to increase the ecstasy of the experience, he's immersed in his Gopi Bhav, and he's a Gopi, and he's collected Jamuna Jal to bring to Nandagram, or he's gone to the Jamuna in Gopi Bhav, in his Gopi Deha, Siddha Deha, and he's collected water from Raman Reti and Gokul. There's a Raman Reti in Gokul. The original Raman Reti is there. Or Krishna Balaram played, it's there, not here. It's Raman Reti is there. And they played there in Raman Reti and Gokul when they're little children, 2, 3, like this. So the Gopi would go there and collect the water and bring it early in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. She would bring it to Gokul, to Nanda Baba's palace. And then she would say, Gopal! Gopal! Hey Gopal! Snan kare! Snan karo! So she would leave the pot there, then the servants, the house servants of Krishna and assistants, they would collect that pot of water and then heat it up on a stove with wood, different kinds of hot burning wood in the winter, and make nice hot water for Gopal. So in that Bhav, Gadadhar Das is in this Vrindavan Bhav, Braja Bhav, Ami Gopi, Ami Radhadasi, Ami Gopi. And Nitai, he's on that one side, it's 2 cameras here. One camera is at the Ganga, showing the panoramic view of the Ganga, and then it closes in on Gadadhar Das, and he's absorbed in his own internal consciousness, Antar Chitta, and he's in Brajabhav and West Bengal, walking back from the Ganga to serve his beloved Sri Balagopal, and he's just thinking Vrindavan and Gopis and Gopal, and I'm bathing him, and it's so wonderful. And meanwhile, Samavadut, his old friend, Nitai, has entered the temple, and then the camera shifts to the temple. Nitai enters the temple, and then the camera shifts. And there's another camera that shows the face of the deity. The deity's Balagopal is looking at Nitai, and then the camera's in Nitai's face as he glances at Gopal, and then the response of Nitai, how he becomes full of ecstasy. And then what does he do? He runs to the altar, as this verse says, Vakshar Upara. Affectionately he embraced the deity to his chest. So he's Balaram, and Balaram loves his little brother. His little brother is named Gopal, Govinda, Nanda Kumar, Nanda Dulal. And he's Shishu Kumar Krishna. Shishukumar Krishna, Shishukumar Baba, the little Shishu of Nanda Baba. And he held him to his chest. So we heard that he went there to bestow love on him, but he actually went there to bestow his love on Balagopal, to embrace Balagopal, because you don't have to bestow any mercy on Gadadhar. The first translation says he went to bestow mercy on Gadadhar. It's like, I'm going to see Bill Gates. Acha, what are you going for? I'm going to give him some money. Wait a minute, what money you can give him? He has plenty of dough, plenty of rupees. I'm going to Ambani. I'm going to give him a donation. So he's going to Gadadhar Das, who's in Gopi Bhav. He's the Kanti of Radharani, and he's a Shuddha Bhakta Nitya Parisha. So he's going there for love. Nityananda, when the Lord's moving with his devotees, it's only for love. When he's moving with the conditioned souls, it's for kripa. Mercy mission of mercy. They have like Christian churches and missions are called Mission of St. Mary's Mission of Mercy. In the streets of Calcutta, they distribute free food to the drunken Bengalis and the homeless Bengalis. Mother Teresa's House of Mercy, or Mission of Mercy. So kripa is for the creeps. Kripa is for the conditioned souls, and love is for the devotees. Priti Lakshana. Padati pratigrinati bhunkte bojayate cheva. So he saw the deity, and he affectionately embraced to his chest with love. And there were so many people moving with Nityananda. He doesn't move alone, he always moves with his entourage, dancing and chanting and distributing ecstasy and prema wherever he looks. So this prema bharajristi is heavily, his glance is heavily laden with love and compassion and joy and bliss, anand, nityanand. So we see the cameras on in the mandir, and Nityananda has walked right to the altar, picked up the Sri Gopal Murti, embraced it to his chest, and then the camera zooms in on Nitai's face, how blissful he's looking, and some tears are coming down of his eyes, out of the corner of his eyes. His hair is standing on end. And then now the camera shifts to the other people that are with him. We only saw Nitai, and now the camera lets us know. The camera is like the informant in a movie. As cameras shift from camera to camera, then the viewer understands who's there and what's happening. Because the camera controls what you can see. So in a movie you only see what the producer wants you to see at any given scene. In real lifetime you see so many things at once, but in a movie they show you this thing, that thing, then you integrate it all in your mind and try to understand the flow. Oh, Nitai's by himself, then the camera pans on the people standing behind him at the entrance to the temple watching. Oh, there's other people with him. So then the camera shows their faces, what their expression is as they're watching Nitai. The first camera is just on Nitai and Balagopal. And that camera means the camera of our heart, the camera lens of absorption. There's one section of our new book called Camera Lens of Absorption. We're the director behind all the camera lenses. So now the camera's on their face of his entourage as they enter the Sri Balagopal Mandir of Gadadhar Das in some place, maybe Paniyati. Logic would be Paniyati Gram, or maybe somewhere nearby. Ananta Hridaya Deki Sri Balagopal Sarvagan Haridwani Karina Vishal. When everyone saw the deity, Gadadhar Das's deity, Sri Balagopal, that Manohara Murti resting on the chest of Ananta Shesh Nitai, they loudly chanted the name, Hari! 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 George say, Hari! 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 So they're in ecstasy. Nitai he's made it. He's embracing his Lord, his worshipful Lord. Hunkara Kariya Nityananda Malarai Karite Lagila Nitya Gopala Lilai. Gopal Lila. This is Lila. This is Nitai's Lila. Now Nitai's in Brajabhav, Gopal Bhav, and he's having Gopal Lila with Sri Bala Gopal. Because for Nitai, he's not embracing a Manohar Murti. Wow, look at that deity. Look at that arch of Vigraha. Look at that brass deity. Are your deities made of neem wood? Are your deities Ashtadhatu? No, there's Satchidananda. There's Satchidananda Vigraha. Is this a stone deity? Is this a wood deity? A marble deity? So he wasn't... The writer is saying you entered the mandir and there's a murti was there. So we unqualified or unadhikaris can understand the reality that it's a murti. But for Nitai, because he's in bhav, he's in prem, so prem dristi. Premanjana. How's that verse go? Premanjana. What's that's the first line. Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena Santak Sadaiva Hridayesha Vilokyanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Guna Sarupam. Achintya Guna Sarupam. His Sarup is Achintya, and his guna and qualities are Achintya, inconceivable. How can we understand the Achintya Shakti of the Lord? His Achintya Shakti, his inconceivable potency is such that he can extend himself from the farthest regions of the spiritual world in Goloka Vrindavan all the way down to anyone's murti, wherever that murti may be, in Russia or Bombay or Delhi or Noida or New Oregon or anywhere. The Lord can enter that murti and by his achintya shakti, his inconceivable power and potency, then that Murti becomes him, becomes Krishna, Sakshat Hari, Sakshat Krishna. And this is the vision, this is the real tattva, this is the reality. So the Premika Bhakta, the Premi Bhakta, he doesn't see a Murti, he doesn't see wood or stone or metal, he sees Sakshat Krishna, Sakshat Hari, 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 Hari. So then, when you see the Lord, you embrace the Lord, because He's your beloved, and the Lord embraces you. So he ran immediately, oh my Lord, and he embraced him to his chest. He's not embracing a Murti. He's not embracing an Ashtadhatu, little Bala Gopal Murti like everybody has in their houses all around India. Everyone has their little Bala Gopal Murtis. Did you see my Murti? Did you see my Gopal Murti? So cute. But he's seeing Gopal, and he's directly interacting with him without any rules or regulations. Because generally you don't walk into someone's house and go up on the altar, pick up the deity, and grab the deity off the altar and embrace it to your chest. What are you doing? Wait a minute, slow down. First you pay obeisances, then you do achman, then you ask me permission, are you clean? So Nitai has just been playing with a bunch of children and rolling in the mud and throwing, God knows what he's doing, he's tying them up and slapping them around. So kids are not usually too purified, because they're rolling in the dirt and covered with cow dung and this and that, because they're coward boys, they're in the mood of coward boys. Now he's slapping them and tying them up and playing with them, so maybe like cow dung, he's covered with cow dung too, or a little dust and dirt. Now he runs into the mandir. So people are so ecstatic, the devotees are so happy about it, because he's seeing Krishna directly. So that's what this verse says. The great wrestler, Malarai, the king of all wrestlers, Mala, like Govardhan Mala, the husband of Chandravali, is called Govardhan Mala. His name is Govardhan. Interesting name. And Govardhan Dari is the lover of his husband, or his wife. But his name is Govardhan. It's called Mala because he's a wrestler. He would often wrestle in Mathura. He was one of the featured adult wrestlers in Mathura. He was good friends with Kansa. Obviously, it wasn't too much favorable towards Krishna, being the husband of Chandravali. His name was Govardhan Mala because he's a wrestler. But Krishna Nitai is Malaraj, he's the great king of all wrestlers. So he roared loudly and began to dance in the mood of a coward boy. Nritya Gopal Leela. Well, all this is going one by one, so it doesn't say that he put the deity back on the altar. The sequence of the scenes is that he goes to the altar and says, Gopal, what are you doing standing there? I came here, let's dance. We coward boys love to dance together. Krishna not only dances with the gopis, he also dances with the gopas. They dance and spin around. They have so many wonderful dances. There's male dances also. There's male dances and female dances. So the Tandava is a male dance, and the Lasya and Chalika are female dances. There's different types of dances. And the boys would dance around on the banks of the Jamuna also, and dance around behind the cows. So he's affectionately embracing Bala Gopal to his chest, and he's dancing around, roaring loudly. And the Madhava Ghosh is right there, because as I said, the entourage was right behind him. Now the camera switches to the entourage, and Madhava Ghosh immediately takes Mridanga out of his back pocket, and Vasudeva Ghosh takes the kartals out of his back pocket, and boom, Madhava Ghosh sings about Dan Leela, and the lion like Avadut became greatly satisfied. So they're having Dan Leela. Bhagyavanta Madhavhera Hena Kanta Dwani Shunite Avishtahaya Avaduttamani. The voice of the fortunate Madhava Ghosh. Bhagyavanta, this is more glorification of Madhava. We heard Madhava Ghosh earlier glorified. Is so sweet. Bhagyavanta, Vanta means he possesses so much fortune. Because that's a Bhagya, it's an opulence, it's a Janmaishvarya Shuta Shribir. There's certain opulences that one receives at birth due to his Purva Sukriti. he gets blessings and opulences and talents and skills and abilities, and one of them is the singing ability. The singing ability, the basic potential to sing, is a gift. It's a gift of one's sukriti, pious good deeds done in previous life. Then he's awarded with some singing ability. And if he has some people have no singing ability, and even if they try, and hire a teacher and spend lots of money, they still will never be able to sing properly, nicely, attractively singing. It's a very rare gift, actually. Many people are pretending to sing. Many people are pretending to sing because this is a Sankirtan movement. I'm only speaking about the quality of singing, not speaking about devotional service, Shravanam Kirtanam. At service, we all should sing and dance for the pleasure of the Lord. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, it's said that he couldn't sing in tune. I would rather like to say that he could do everything perfectly, but just to make a point, he deliberately, that's what they say, he didn't sing on tune. He did that deliberately to sympathize with the masses of Indians who can't sing for a damn. So he was maybe surrounded by some of those, but mostly having Bengali followers, I'm sure they were all pretty good singers. And having a father like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, it's hard to imagine that his number one Raya Vishnu's son doesn't know how to sing. It doesn't make any sense. At any rate, he was very fortunate, and he had this Kanta Dwani that was so sweet that the Avaduta Mani, that crest jewel, he became absorbed in ecstasy. When he heard that Kanta Dwani, that beautiful sound coming from his sweet throat, the Avishta, he entered deep into his mood of Dan Leela and deep into his mood of Gopal Bhav. Erupa Leelatan Nija Prema Range Sukriti Sri Garadhar Dasa Kari Sange. In the happiness of his own ecstatic love, Rupa Leela, Nityananda enjoyed pastimes of love in association with the most fortunate Gadadhar Das. So we'll continue with this discussion of this Leela. Things are shaping up here. We heard that it was some foreshadowing here. We can put things together, why the author was such a master author. There's no one better than Vedavyas, Vrindavan Das Thakur. But he's dropping little hints here and there to foreshadow the unraveling of a wonderful Leela. Because now you put all the parts together. You put all the pieces together. Like Leela's like a puzzle. Shastra's like a puzzle sometimes. And you have to be good at solving puzzles to understand the flow and the meaning and the feelings of the Leelas. So here you have to look at the players. You look at the players. You look at the setting. You look at the players. You look at the interchange and actions. So that's the Vibhav, which means a Lamban Vishai and a Lamban Ashray. And Udipan is the setting. Then the exchanges, which means the Anubhavs. The Anubhavas and Sattvic Bhavas and Sanchari Bhavas that swirl and rise and fall and nourish and enhance the underlying foundation of the love between the two, which is a Sthairati. Hero and heroine, friend and friend, Gopi and Gopa. So on one hand we have a Gopa. Nityananda Avadhuta is absorbed in Gopal Bhav and wanting to enjoy the Leelas, and he just found some kids. And so you're kids, I'm a kid also. Birds of a feather flock together. All these adults traveling with me, they can't understand. You're all Shishubalas. You can understand. So let me grab them all and tie them all up. As Balaram would sometimes grab all the coward boys and show off his strength. He would grab Subal and Sridham and Gobata and Mandali Bhadra and all the coward boys. He'd grab them all and tie them all up around the tree and laugh and jump up and down. And Krishna would come and untie them. Then everyone would give Krishna a rasgulla from their tiffin. And everyone would say, Jai, 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 Jai. And Balaram would laugh and eat rasgullas too. So Balaram would do these kind of pastimes. So now he's totally in this mood. He's in a mood of a mala. He's a wrestler, because Gopas love to wrestle. Krishna loves to wrestle the cowherd boys. But another thing cowherd boys do is they play with the gopis. They're very naughty and nasty. They're very playful. Like kids at the bus stop, they're very playful. Boys are very playful with young girls. When you're like 9, 10, 11, it's a very playful, innocent age. That pre-puberty time, it's so joyful. That called Vayasandhi. 9, 10, 11. This Krishna's 9, 10, 11. And we do these Dan Leelas. So now we have Gadadhar Das. He's doesn't know so much what's going on. He's already in the Bhav. He's in Gopi Bhav collecting water in a pot, which he thinks is milk. And he's crying out, who wants to buy my yogurt? Who wants to buy my milk? Who wants to buy my milk? My Goras? Who wants to buy my milk? Now in the temple, there's one Gopa dancing around, embracing Gopal to his chest. Balaram Nitayas. He's dancing around. And then, understanding his Bhav, Madhava Ghosh is always in Dan Leela. So he starts singing about Dan Leela. And Dan Leela, all the Gopas get together at Dan Gati, and they take some cowherding ropes and tie them into a long rope and stretch it across the narrow passage, the Gati, Dan Gati, passage to Govardhan. And the gopis are coming from Varsana to give some milk to Bhagari Rishi at Govindakund, or some other Rishi doing a yagya here and there, on the pretext of selling milk or whatever. Or giving something to get the blessings of the rishis. They want to help his yagya. Hey, stop, halt. You pass through here every day, and we've never actually set up a toll booth over here, and you freely pass through here for so many days, and you never got taxed, and you're making so much profit, and the king is not benefiting at all. You're the subject of the king, and every day you're passing through here. And we know it, but we know about it, but we haven't come here. Now, you have to pay big time. Because there were so many days you went through here and you made so much profit, and we didn't get any taxes. So whenever a businessman makes profit, then the government takes taxes, as we all know so well. So you're making profit. You're Vaishyas, you're making profit selling your milk. So I'm the representative of the king. We ask, yes boys, yes, we're all representatives of the king. You see, we're representatives of the king. You have to give us some donation. So that's the mood that Nitai is in. And so he wants to tax the gopis, so he's in Gopal Bhav, and most of his associates are also Gopalas. But Gadadhar Das is the gopi, so it seems like a Leela is shaping up here. He's in the mood of Dan Leela. Madhava Ghosh is singing a sweet bhajan about Krishna taxing the Gopas and Krishna taxing the gopis at Dan Gati and Govardhan. And that may be exactly how it develops. We'll find out tomorrow. Chaitanya Bhagavat Ki Jai. Nityananda Rama Ki Jai. Nityananda's in Gadadhar Das's house, and he's in the mood of Vrindavan as a cowherd boy, and Gadadhar Das is in Gopi Bhav, Nityananda is in Gopal Bhav, Gopa Bhav, and Nityananda has asked Madhava Ghosh to sing about Dan Leela. Gopi Bhave Bhaya Nahi, Gadadhara Das, Niravadi Apanake Gopi Henavas. Gadadhar Das had no external consciousness. Bhayachit Nahi. He was absorbed internally in his eternal identity as a gopi, Gopi Bhav. He always considered himself a gopi. Gadadhar Das always remained absorbed in his constitutional position, although he did not externally accept the dress of a Sakhi. I said that the other day, Sakhi Beka. But he was certainly absorbed in the mood of a gopi. But he did not display duplicity by wearing a gopi's dress. Obviously the commentator, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, is hammering at the followers of one very famous guru. He didn't like too much. Dana Kanda Lila Shuni Nityananda Rai Jai Nitya Karena Taha Varnananda Jai When Nitai heard about Dan Leela from Madhava Ghosha's sweet bhajan, he danced in an indescribable way. And while dancing, Prema Bhakti Vikarera Jatachi Nam Sabe Prakashya Nritya Kare Arupam Vidyutera Praya Nritya Gatira Bangima Kiva Se Adbhuta Bhuja Chalana Mahima Kiva Se Nayana Bangi Ki Sundar Has Kiva Se Adbhuta Shira Kampana Vilas. Nitai displayed all the transformations of ecstatic love, Prema Bhakti Vikar, as he danced in an incomparable way. Nitai danced. The movement of his bodily limbs appeared like lightning. Vidyut Praya was almost like lightning. Vidyut. Gatira Bhangima. How wonderful was the movement of Nitai's arms. Adbhuta, Bhuja Chalana Mahima. The glories of the movements of his arms were so wonderful. Then there's some questions are asked here. How wonderful was the movement of Nitai's eyes. How beautiful was Nitai's smile. And how wonderful was the swaying of his head. Apparently Vrindavan Das Thakur is seeing how wonderful it all is, because he's describing it and writing about it. You can't write about something you don't see. Well, you can write fiction. That's what fiction is all about. Writing about what you don't see. Nitai wonderfully jumped about, keeping his two beautiful feet together. Oh, Ekatra Karya Dui Charana Sundar Kiva Jodi Jodi Lampa Dena Manohara. He was stealing everyone's minds with his extraordinary dancing. Jaydike Chahena Nityananda Premaras Saydike Stri Purush Krishna Rase Bhase. In any direction, the men and women, wherever Nityananda cast his love-filled glance, everyone floated in the mellows of love of God. Krishna Rasa Bhase. Nityananda Prema Rase, Krishna Rase Bhase. Because Nityananda's Prema Rase, his glance is full of Krishna Ras. Krishna Ras, that's the divine mellow of joy one experiences when he's connected with Krishna by serving him in love. So Nityananda is always connected with Krishna, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, and Nandananda and Sri Krishna. Nityananda is always connected with him and relishing the divine mellows of Bhakti Ras, serving Krishna and Lord Chaitanya. So his glance is full of the Bhav, and his Bhav is full of that Seva Ras, Sevananda. So he injected everybody with that. Hena se karena kripa dristi atishai paranande deya smriti karanatakai. Nitai's glance was filled with such mercy that everyone forgot their own bodies in ecstasy. Jai Bhakti Vanchena Yogindradi Munigan Nityananda Prasade se Bunje Jete Jane. By Nityananda's mercy, anyone and everyone relish the devotion of the best of yogis and sages desire. Nityananda Prasad. Hasti samad janana kailetina din chalite na pare deha haya atikshin. If a person as strong as an elephant does not eat for 3 days, he will not be able to walk, and his body will become weak. Ekamasha, ekashishu, nakare ahar, tarapya singhapraya sabe vyavahar. Although each of those children associating with Nityananda did not eat anything for 1 month, they were behaving just like lions. So that means the lion defeats the elephant. So even the hungry elephant can't go without 3 days without fainting and falling apart. Well, these children became lions. So a man who's as strong as an elephant, if he doesn't eat for 3 days, he'll just lie flat and moan and groan. Food, food. And these children are not eating for a month, and they're jumping around like victorious lions and roaring in hunkara. Hena Shakti Prakashena Nityananda Rai Tarapina Bhujekena Chaitanya Mayaya. Such was the potency manifest by Nitai. By the influence of Chaitanya's illusory energy, no one can understand. Hey Mata Katak Dine Premananda Ras Gadadhara Dasara Mandire Prabhuvase. In this way, Nityananda stayed a few days in the house of Gadadhar Das, absorbed in the mellows of ecstatic love. So he's a few days in the house of Gadadhar Das. He spent 3 months, really not too eager to preach the conditioned souls. He spent 3 months in Panihati, relishing the association with Premi Bhaktas, Raghava Pandit and Damayanti. And 1 whole month of those 3 months he spent in Gopal Bhav, playing with children, and tying them up and beating them and slapping around sometimes. and played with them and beat them up and had them went crazy and didn't even feed them for a month. Then he went on down to Gadadhar's house, Gadadhar Das, and he stayed a few days there, and he had this whole pastime with the deity, and then he was blessing everybody there, glancing here and there and dancing in ecstasy. The whole time he's clutching the Sri Balagopal Murti to his chest, all these dancing movements. He's either put the deity back or danced for his pleasure or kept holding him to his chest, either one. Solo dance or duet. And now he's moving the show down the road a little bit. Oh, there's a little diversion here, because that's all the sweet, happy music, and now that some heavy violins start playing, and some kettle drums. Dum 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 dum, boom 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 boom, boom 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 boom. Se grame kajiache parama durbhar, kirtanera prati dvesha karya par. In that village of Gadadhar was the most sinful Kazi. He was vehemently opposed to the performance of Sankirtan. Now the good guys. Paranande Matta Gadadhara Mahashai Nisha Bhage Gela Se Kajira Alai. Gadadhar Das Mahashaya was always intoxicated with transcendental ecstasy. Oh, this is the whole thing about chanting, I think. This is the story of Gadadhar Das blesses the Kazi. Maybe this is in CC too, I think. It seems like I told this story in CC. One night he went to the house of the Kazi, Kajir Alaya. Remember we talked about Alaya? Vidyalaya, Bhojanalaya. Kajir Alaya, the house of the place of the Kaji. Kaji becomes Kazi. Jai Kajira Baye Loka Palaya Antare Nirbaye Chalila Nisha Bhage Taragare. Although people generally ran away in fear of that Kazi, Gadadhar Das fearlessly went to his house one night. Niravadi Haridwani Karite Karite Pravishta Hailagia Kajira Bharite. Gadadhar Das continually chanted the name of Hari as he entered the Kazi's house. Hari, 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 Hari. Deki Matra Vasya Kajira Sarvagan Bali Badi Karo Kichu Naise Vadan. The servants of that Kasi, they were speechless, and they sat down and watched Gadadhar enter. The chokidars and doormen couldn't do anything. He chanted the name of Hari and opened all the doors magically. Gadadhara Vale, Are Kaji Beta Kota. Jat Krishna Vale, Nahi Chindon Toram Hata. Where is that fellow? Kazi, quickly chant the name of Krishna or I will sever your head. Chindon Toramat. Agni Hena Krode Kaji. Haila Bahir. Gadadhara Dasadeki Matra Haila Stir. You imagine, he's walking into the Muslim ruler, the Mughal ruler of that district, DM. He walks into his house, Hari, Hari, Hari. Where is that Qazi? I'll cut his head off. He's not whispering it either. My guards are sitting there. The Qazi was as angry as fire. Agni crowed. He came out of his room. Who is this infidel? What do they call it? Infidels. Infidel. There's some name they got. Kafir. Who is this kafir? What is this? But then he became stira. Gadadhara Dasadeki Matra Haila Stira. When he saw Gadadhara, he became cool, pacified. Kaji Bali. Gadadhar Tumi Kine Eta. Gadadhar Balina. Ache Kichukata. Because he said, Gadadhar, why are you here? Really amazing. He comes in, I'm going to cut your head off. He says, oh, welcome, how are you? Fine. Nice to see you. Have a seat. Because you should always greet your guests with sweet words and asan, some water, some prasad. And what did Gadadhara say? He said, I have Kichu Kata. I have a little Kata. I have a little Hari Kata to tell you, little Kata. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Prabhu Avatari Jagatera Mukhe Balaila Hari 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 Sabe Tumi Matra Nahi Bala Hari Nam Taha Bala Itteyai Lana Tomastan Parama Mangala Hari Nama Bala Tumi Tomara Sakala Pap Udaribami. So this is his Kichu Kata. Qazi, Lord Chaitanya, and Nityananda Prabhu have incarnated in this world to induce everyone to chant the name of Hari. Only you have not chanted the name of Hari. Therefore, I have come to your house to make you chant. You now chant the auspicious name of Hari, and I will deliver you from all your sinful reactions. Yadyapiya Kaji Maha Himsaka Charita Tarapina Bale Kichu Haila Stambita. Hasi Bali Kaji Shuna Dasa Gadadhar Kali Bali Bhanahari Aji Jahagar. Although the Qazi was most envious by nature, he was stunned by the Kichukata and Gadadhar Das, and he could not say anything in reply. He was stambita. He then smiled and said, listen, Gadadhar Das, you go home now. Tomorrow I will chant the name of Hari. Although the Qazi was most envious and opposed to religious principles, he smiled on seeing Gadadhar's simplicity. This is his saralata, straightforwardness, no dupliciousness. The facts, the plain, simple facts. So, well, how did Gadadhar feel? He went on a preaching mission. Prabhupada said, your preaching mission will be successful if 4 things happen. What are those 4 things? 1, yes.
Money?
No, that's allowed. First, they chant the holy name of Krishna.
Buy the book.
They buy it, transcendental literature.
And then Mahaprasad.
They give a donation.
Donate money, that's it.
Yeah, they take a book and give a donation.
Yes.
Dan. And then they honor Mahaprasadam. So once one devotee was preaching for so long, some sannyasi said, I went to this college, Prabhupada, I went to the religion class, philosophy, Eastern philosophies. I gave a 3-hour dissertation about karma, yoga, bhakti. And Prabhupada said, Acha. Did they buy any books? No. Did they give any donation? No. Did they take any prasadam? No. Did they chant the holy name of Krishna or any Harinam Sankirtan? No. It was a college, Prabhupada, they wouldn't let us chant as that. So Prabhupada said, what is this? What will your 5-minute talk do? That's when Prabhupada made this famous statement. What will your 5-minute statement do? That's what he just told the sannyasi, big leading sannyasi. I just gave a 3-hour talk comparing karma, gyan, and yoga, and got a standing ovation, and professor loved it, this, that. And Prabhupada just blew it off and said, what will your 5-minute talk do? He talked for 3 hours. That's not easy. And a good speaker. Prabhupada said, what will your 3-minute talk do, 5-minute talk do? Better they take a book. So Gadadhar Das is successful because he went to a very unlikely candidate, seemingly unqualified and most degraded and unfavorable, irreligious, let's say, immoral person who was envious, and he tricked him into chanting the holy name of the Lord. That's like going out to someone and say, listen, there's one thing I don't want you to do. Don't do this, okay? Please, you promise me. Promise you'll never say Hare Krishna. So that's called indirect way. You go to your parents because you know they don't want to chant. So you say, listen, Dad, I want you to promise one thing. You promise me that you'll never ever, in sleeping or falling in accident, in times of distress, you'll never say Hare Krishna. I'll never say Hare Krishna. You said Hare Krishna. Don't worry, I'll never say Hare Krishna. It's the same idea. It's the same idea. So how did Gadadhar felt? Because his preaching was successful, Prabhupada would give him a rasgulla. Harinama matra sunilena taramuke Gadadhar Das Purna Haila Prema Suke. As soon as Gadadhar Das heard the name of Hari from the Qazi's mouth, he became filled with ecstatic jubilation. So we should see that the preacher becomes happy when the conditioned souls take up Nam Sankirtan. He becomes very, very joyful, very happy. It's a joy. It gives pleasure and happiness to the Lord when His Mahima and His glories are spread, and it gives happiness to the Lord's devotees, the pracharak. So we have these mantra cards in Hindi and Bengali and English. One is Hindi Bengali and the other one's Hindi English, backside, front side, heads and tails. And they're very popular. We've printed already 30,000 cards, and so many have gone out already. I've done about 2,000 myself. So I say, excuse me, sir, you take this as a gift for you. Roz ye mantra japo, aur aapko Krishna prem sukh shanti milegi. And then I say, so I say, boliye, ek bar boliye, pura. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Not like that. Hey, chup, listen, soon. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, up, boliye. Achha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. And then they say this. Okay, good, very good. Now, Suno, you promise, because I know some English mostly, you promise, Rose 5 minute, cable, minimum 5 minute every day. Yeah, I promise. You promise? Yeah, okay, I promise. And like that. So 2,000 people promise to chant Hare Krishna every day. That's good. It's not just standard taker cards. And we do that sometimes just for fun, like we went that time, Harinam, pass them out. That's also fun, but it always has effect, either way. We see the cards, the more we pass, we see these cards everywhere. You probably go on an airline, this guy flying the Jet Airways has it in the cockpit. He's got it, blue tack to the speedometer. In case he starts crashing, you can chant Hare Krishna. Please fasten your seatbelts. We're losing altitude. It appears that we forgot to tank up with gas, and we're about to land in the Indian Ocean. So we trust that we'll have a safe landing there, and everyone put on their life preservers and prepare to slide off out of the airplane. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Wow. So the devotee becomes happy when he distributes the name of Krishna. Garadhara dasabali arakali kene hete bhalila hari apana bhadane. Gadadhar Das laughed and said, "Hey Kazi, why tomorrow you chant? You have just now uttered the holy name of Hari. Aratora amangala nahi kon shan jakana karila hari namera grahan." Listen, Kazi, since you have uttered the name of Hari, all your inauspiciousness has been immediately vanquished. Etavali parama unmad gadadhar hatte tali dia nritya kare bahutar. After speaking these words, Gadadhar Das clapped his hands and danced wildly, intoxicated with ecstasy. Parama unmad. So he was dancing, hatte tali, keeping a beat with his hands. Tali dia, giving the beat. Tal. Katakshane ailena apana mandire nityananda adhishtana janhara sharire. So here Gadadhar Das is doing Nitai's work. Nitai has gone preaching and he's collected these. This is the first preaching attempt of his party. Sankirtan results for the Sankirtan leaders. Nityananda has a 6-man party. Gadadhar Das, Raghunath Vaidya, Krishna Das Pandit, and the other ones are there. So that this is the first preaching venture of one of his team. They come back and give the report. That's what was told by Chaitanya to Nitai and Haridas. You go out every day and preach and come back at night and give me the report. Oh yeah, today we met this Jagai Madai. Oh yeah, Gauranga, this, and then this Nitai. I'm not going out with him again. He's crazy. I almost lost my life today. So they give the report. So this is the first one is breaking out and preaching. The first thing of this whole experience of the traveling Sankirtan party of Nityananda, the first actual incident we hear of anybody preaching. Up until this point, Nitai is just relishing Ras and Prema Ras with all his devotees and with children, anybody can find here and there. But now Gadadhar has started preaching. After some time, Gadadhar returned to his house. Nityananda always resided in his body. Nityananda Adhishtan Sharire Apana Mandire. He returned to his mandir. Not his house, his mandir. That's Prabhupada. Nityananda always resides in his body. Nityananda Adhishtan. Hena Mata Gadadhara Dasara Mahima Chaitanya Parshara Madhye Janhara Ganana. Such are the glories of Gadadhar Das, who is counted among the associates of Lord Chaitanya Parashad. So we didn't hear much about the Kazi in the initial description of this pastime of Gadadhar liberating the Kazi. We just heard that people were afraid of him. People ran away in fear of that Kazi. He was very sinful. We heard that he was very sinful and very envious of the Kirtan party. Very interesting. That's the very medicine he was given. He wasn't given the medicine. Many conditioned souls and materialistic, immoral, sinful people, the first medicine they get is Krishna Prasad. Some festival or feast or on the street here and there. Or they get a book. And still they haven't got the medicine of Nam Oshadi, the holy name, but he got the most powerful medicine right away. So he's sinful, he's envious of the kirtan, people are afraid of him. Gadadhar Das went and gave him the name of Hari. So now Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying this is the Mahima, Gadadhar Das Mahima. But in order to make us understand how influential and powerful Gadadhar is, Vrindavan Das Thakur explains more about the nature of this Kazi. Je Kajira Vatasana Laya Sarujan Paile Matra Jati Laya Sekshane Hina Kaji Durbara De Kile Jati Lai Hina Jane Kripa Dristi Kaila Mahashai. The Kazi of that village, now we find out the name of the village of Gadadhar, Endiyadaha. So it's a different village in Paniyati. Nityan's gone, as I mentioned, he's gone to another village named Endiyadaha. That Kazi was most sinful. Saintly persons did not want to be touched by the air that touched the Kazi. They felt by touching air that passed over his body, they would lose their caste and also become aleches like him. Nevertheless, without any consideration of this point, Gadadhar Das Mahashaya glanced mercifully on that most sinful Kazi, who would take away the caste of any Hindu he encountered. So he was so contaminated that people would lose their caste just by seeing him or being in his presence without even getting any water thrown on them, just air, any element, any kind of contact with that sinful Kazi would destroy one's accumulated sukriti and punya, and they would devolve to a malecha or a yavana. That's why people ran away. We heard earlier everyone was afraid of him, they ran away. They were afraid of what? He wasn't going around with an AK-47 killing everyone. He was just going around as himself, just killing everybody's caste. Dishonor is worse than death. To lose your caste is worse than death, and that's 500 years ago. So Gadadhar Das didn't care about that, but he actually elevated him. He transformed him from a Lechana to a Vaishnava, from a caste-conscious person to a member of the Achyuta Gotra, family of Krishna. When such a person gives up his envious nature, it's understood that this is proof of the potency of Krishna consciousness. Whenever that Kazi got the opportunity, he would immediately take away the caste of those who did not respect him. So this was his nature and his life story, his charita. And it was well known by Gadadhar that he would take away the caste and anyone who didn't respect him. So that's the first. So when Gadadhar entered this house, he didn't show any respect at all. He's a leader. He's a chief minister of the whole district. And he comes in, where is that sinful Kazi? I'll cut off his head. It's not exactly a respectful statement. Now, the author makes a beautiful point of philosophy here on this Leela. Of course, this Leela, now this is the Tattva. Satya Krishna Bhav Haya Janhara Sharire Agni Sarpa Vyagra Tare Langite Na Pare Brahmadira Abhishtaje Sabha Krishna Bhav Gopigana Vyaktaje Sakala Anurag Ingite Se Savabhav Nityananda Rai Dilena Sakala Priya Ganere Kripai. Vrindavan Das Thakur says, fire, snakes, and tigers can never harm a person who is Satya Krishna Bhav, or Bhava Bhakta. Satya Krishna Bhav, who's totally absorbed and the pure truth of love of God, who is truly absorbed in Krishna consciousness. It says here. Creatures like snakes and tigers do not harm persons intoxicated with ecstatic love for Krishna, and fire will not burn them. Pretty good. It says right in the Gita, the soul cannot be withered by the wind or moistened by the water, nor burned by the fire. So the pure devotee is Atma. He's living in his Atma. Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu, tried to burn his son. Hiranyakashipu had a beautiful sister named Horika. Sometimes she's called Holy. Her name was Horika. And she was a yogi like her brother. Her brother was also a mystic yogi, such a tapasvi and vairagi. So his sister was pretty sharp herself. So she had the power. She was inflammable. She couldn't be burned. She had some kind of power like that. So then Hiranyakashipu tried in so many ways to annihilate his devotional son, Prahlad. So one day he schemed with his sister, you take Prahlad and run through a big fire. You sit in a big fire. And so she did that. A huge fire could burn up 10 houses. It was so big. And then she ran in that fire, and somehow, by Krishna's arrangement, her mystic power, because devotees have all mystic power, because they worship Yogeshwara. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Tatra Shri Vijaya Bhutir. They have all mystic power, because they worship Yogeshwara Krishna. By Krishna's mercy and arrangement, then that fireproof potency or fireproof power of Horika was transferred to Prahlad Maharaj, and she was holding him in her arms, and pretty soon she turned into ashes, and Prahlad walked out of the fire chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Hare. So Hari took away Hori. He killed her, he finished her. And that's an example of a devotee not getting burned by fire. And snakes and tigers, you've heard so many stories of great sadhus, and even living here in Braj, chanting Hare Krishna, and someone comes to see them, and there's a cobra climbing up their leg, or even a cobra wrapped around their neck, just crawling out of the jungle. They're doing Nirjan Bhajan. And they keep on chanting in trance, and they don't even see it. Cobra just sits there. Sometimes cobras come and they sleep next to sadhus. We've heard, read the stories, like biographies are there. I've heard those stories. And tigers, of course, they're very friendly towards sadhus. The tigers, they like very much the sweet taste of human flesh. It's much sweeter than any wild animal that they generally pounce on and chomp on. But snakes and tigers and fires, they can't hurt him. Out of his causeless mercy, Nityananda freely distributed to his dear associates love for Krishna that is desired by Brahma and others. And he distributed the attachment to Krishna displayed by the gopis. Nityananda mercifully and freely gave his own servants the gopis' attachment to Krishna, which is rare even for the personalities like Brahma. So that's why they say in the bhajan of Narottam Das, Nitai bine bai, Radha Krishna payete nai. Oh brother, listen clearly, that without the mercy of Nityananda, one can never get the mercy or seva, Nitya seva of Radha and Krishna. So now, Bhaja bhai hena Nityanandera charan, Janhara prasade pai Chaitanya sharan, Now, the great devotee of Nityananda, Vrindavan Thakur, he's telling us, all of us brothers, we're his brothers. He's treating us like brothers. This is the equal vision of the Vaishnava. Vidyavanaya Sampane, Brahmane Gavani Hashini, Shanicheva Sapakecha, Pandita Samadharshana. Samadristi. The Vaishnava has samadristi because he sees something good in everyone. That's samadristi. He sees something good in everyone. What is that good? He sees the goodness of his Ishtadev. He sees the energies and talents and abilities and expressions of his very Lord in everyone's heart. Therefore he has equal vision. Everyone's a friend, surrounded by friends, walking among friends. So Vrindavan Thakur is considering us fallen conditioned souls that are reading his sacred literatures. Chaitanya Bhagavat, he considers us his brothers. That we're worshipping the same Father, Lord Gauranga, Radha and Krishna. So we have the same Father. Vrindavan Thakur is worshipping Nityananda Balaram, and so are we. So he's the Father, and we're the brothers. He said, "Oh brothers, just worship the lotus feet of Nityananda."
Govinda Adi Purusha Bhajami Vedom Pamatam Aravindadaya Kapsham Avatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandapakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobha Govinda Adi Purusha Bhajami Angani Yasya Sakale Vidyavarti Bhante Vajram Devanti Kalyanti Jiram Jaganti Ananda Chimaya Sadhu Jvala Virahasya Govinda Adi Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Govinda Adi Purusha Tamaham Bhajami Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishpaya Mutale Vimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Krishna Vishpaya Mutale Vimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Shesha Shunyavadi Ashatkadeshakarine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashatkadeshakarine Krishna Jai Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama, Jai.
Aja Bhakata Vatsala Shri Gaura Hari Aja Bhakata Vatsala Shri Gaura Hari Shri Gaura Hari Sahi Goshta Bihari Shri Gaura Hari Sahi Goshta Bihari Nanda Yashomati Chitahari Nanda Yashomati Chitahari Velo Halo Damodara Aisha Kana Damodara Aisha Ekana Ogamandire Bosi Kora Bojana Ogamandire Bosi Kora Bojana Nanderani Deshe Baise Kiri Baradhari Nanderani Deshe Baise Kiri Baradhari Baladeva Sahasaka Baise Sari Sari Baladeva Sahasaka Baise Sari Sari Sukta Shakani Bhaji Nalita Kushmanda Sukta Shakani Bhaji Nalita Kushmanda Dalidana Dugha Tumbi Dadhi Mochakanda Dalidana Dugha Tumbi Dadhi Mochakanda Buddha Bodha Masha Bodha Ratika Gritana Buddha Bodha Masha Bodha Ratika Gritana Shaskuli Pishtaka Kirkuli Payasana Shaskuli Pishtaka Kirkuli Payasana Karpuramrita Keli Rambakira Sana Rasa Amla Dvadasha Prakara Amrita Rasa Amla Dvadasha Prakara Luchi Chini Sarpuri Radula Sabali Luchi Chini Sarpuri Radula Sabali Bhojana Korena Krishna Hoye Kutuhali Bhojana Korena Krishna Hoye Kutuhali Radhikara Pakana Vividha Vyanjana Radhikara Pakana Vividha Vyanjana Parama Ananda Krishna Korena Bhojana Parama Ananda Krishna Korena Bhojana Jale Bale Ladhukai Shri Madhu Mangala Jale Bale Ladhukai Shri Madhu Mangala Bagala Bhajai Yara Deya Hari Bolo Bagala Bhajai Yara Deya Hari Bolo Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Bol Hari Bol Nitai Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Bol Hari Bol Radhikari Ganeheri Nayane Rakhone Radhikari Ganeheri Nayane Rakhone Tripta hoye kai Krishna Jashoda Bhavane Tripta hoye kai Krishna Jashoda Bhavane Bhojanante piye Krishna Subhasita Bari Bhojanante piye Krishna Subhasita Bari Save mukha prakaloy hoye sari sari Save mukha prakaloy hoye sari sari Hasta mukha prakaliya jata sakha gane Hasta mukha prakaliya jata sakha gane Anand vishrama kore bala devasane Anand vishrama kore bala devasane Jambula rasala ne tambula masala Jambula rasala ne tambula masala Dhake Krishna Chandra Sukhe Nidra Gela Dhake Krishna Chandra Sukhe Nidra Gela Vishalaka Shiki Puja Chamara Dulaya Vishalaka Shiki Puja Chamara Dulaya Apurvachayane Krishna Sukhe Nidra Jaya Apurvachayaya Krishna Sukhe Nidra Jaya Yashomati Akyape Dhanishto Anito Yashomati Akyape Dhanishto Anito Shri Krishna Prasada Radha Kunje Hoyo Prito Shri Krishna Prasada Radha Kunje Hoyo Prito Lalitari Sakhi Gana Avashesha Paya Lalitari Sakhi Gana Avashesha Paya Mane Mane Sukhe Radha Krishna Guna Gaya Mane Mane Sukhe Radha Krishna Guna Gaya Hari Lila Ekmatra Jara Pramoda Hari Lila Ekmatra Jara Pramoda Bhakti Dhira Thakur Bhakti Vinoda Bhakti Dhira Bhakti Vinoda Vaja Bhakta Vatsala Shri Gura Hari Vaja Bhakta Vatsala Shri Gura Hari
Om Jnanatimirandasya. If you guys know this one, please follow along. Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Together. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. A little louder. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Shri Harinam Prabhu Ki Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Shri Shri Radha Damodara Ki Nitai Gaur Premanande Radha Shyam Sundarade Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe 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 Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe. Everybody. Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar. One more time, everybody together. Radha Shyam Sundar. A little louder for Zaribo. Radha Shyam Sundar. Radha Shyam Sundar. Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundara Radha Shyam Sundara Radha Shyam Sundara Radhe Radha Shyam Sundara Radha Shyam Sundara Radha Shyam Radha Shyama Sundarade Radha Shyam Sundarade Radha Shyama Sundarade Radha Shyam Sundarade. Very loudly, everybody. Radha Shyam Sundara. A little louder, please. Radha Shyam Sundara. Radha Shyam Sundara. Radha Shyam Sundara. Radha Shyama Sundara Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe Radha Shyam Sundara Radha Shyam Sundara Radha Everybody together. Hari Hari Bol. Very nice. One more time, please, everybody. A little louder. Hari Hari Bol.
Radha Govind Radhe Radha Govind Radhe
Radha Govind
Shyam Sundar Radhe Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe
Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyama Sundara Radha Shyam Sundara Radha Shyama Sundara Radha. One more time, everybody, please, with your heart. Radha
Shyam Sundar Radhe Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe